just over the years, and also just around the time that I hit menopause too, I just had a lot of changes in my body. And for a while my weight was climbing, but I was also getting less fit. So I've dealt with the fitness bit, over time, more and more. I've gotten more active, and it's kind of gone down at times of stress and then back up when life settles down. But I've really started to notice that I have kind of more of an emotional connection to food. There's a positive emotional connection where I see food as a very social thing and something to connect with people through, and almost a guilt if I don't participate, or even sadness, like kind of regret, if I don't participate. But then there's this whole other aspect where I started to notice that, someone can just, someone can walk in a room and I can instantly reach for a spoonful of peanut butter because I associate that person with eating peanut butter or something like that. And I just have noticed that I also have a very negative response to food too, when things get stressful and suddenly I'm eating some chocolate or something, and I didn't even realize how that happened. So that's where I kind of want to deal with more of like, what's my relationship with food and how do I manage that?
Awesome. You're in the right place. So glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to go next? V? I'm going to get you unmuted there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
hear me. Do I need to put I've got my fan on because I'm red hot. Do
No,
I need
you're
to
good.
put my volume up at all?
I can hear you just fine. No background.
Okay. No. It's a very, very, very long story, so I will try and make it short. I grew up in New York, and then I was born in England, grew up in New York. So at a very young age, I was put on, like the modern junk food diet, even though nobody knew how bad it was at the time. Anyway, came back to England, and I've always felt that my insides are working against me. No matter what I do, I've always felt they weren't right. I have 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, which has kind of then explained why I'd always had a normal body, but with this tummy. Anyway, so there's all sorts of things that have gone on in my life. I'm not going to bore everybody with the details unless somebody wants to know at another point. But I am now physically unfit. I'm mentally unfit. I have real tiredness and lack of energy and all that kind of stuff. I've got quite the list of medical conditions, and I know that I need to do this, and I've tried this and I've tried that. But because I live on my own now, I know that I succeed better if there's somebody at my elbow, sort of thing. So when I read all about this, I thought, that could be it, because I know what to do, and I know, and I've done stuff, and I'm not one of these who says, oh, I'm not going to give up chocolate, because I don't eat chocolate anyway, and with being a celiac, there's a lot of bad foods that I don't eat anyway. But still, that, having to show up and achieve is what made me join this.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
For sure. We're all here for each other, and you're definitely in the right spot. So I'm glad that you joined, and we'll only continue to provide more support throughout this process. So
great. I will mute myself now. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Bye.
The other thing I wanted to say is you didn't do this necessarily to yourself. The food industry is not out for our health. The food industry is a business, and it's there to make money, and they will do what they need to in order to sell you more food. If everyone in the world is already full and already eaten, they're going to do things to make you eat more. And there's only so much they can sell and feed somebody, so they're going to take advantage of our survival instincts and the way our body evolved.
I've put myself back on because it's I realised I have a bad relationship with food, in that I'm nervous of it. To me, food is the enemy. So I mean, it's only the last, I don't know, 10 years that I've been able to eat in front of people. So like if I went to an event and there was a buffet, I wouldn't eat. And when I was at work, I never had a break, you know, a lunch break or anything like that. And I just always felt I was doing much better not eating as anything. And that has its own issues in different ways. But yeah, no, so I've been aware for a long time about the advertising and the fact that, I mean, I've been saying to people that the stuff you see in the supermarket, they call it food, but it isn't. So I know all this, and anyway, I will go again.
Thanks, V. Who's next? Amy, I saw your hand.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I wasn't even going to mention this part, but since everybody's being really honest, and I like that, I'm from Canada, and had all the issues of menopause. So quickly I put on 10, 20, 30 pounds, couldn't get it off no matter what I tried hormone replacement, all that stuff, got fibromyalgia, just like some people had mentioned. But I recently had, and this is where everybody's going to be like, what? I recently had something called a spiritual awakening. And it just was this download of awareness of everything out of nowhere. And part of it, during my meditations, I was getting a strong message that in order to stay better aligned and better connected, you need to eat better and rest and exercise. And I was like, okay, so regardless of the fact that weight is not, I'm not happy about my weight. Now it's like, in order to be better aligned with my higher consciousness, I need to eat better. And I started to do that based on kind of intuition, lost 9 pounds, but I really want to understand what is eating better and how will that affect me more than just physically, but spiritually as well. So that's why I'm here, and I'm really happy to be here with everyone and learn about their stories as well.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Amy. That's great. You're right on. Everything is vibration, and even the foods that we put into our body have a vibration to them. A higher vibration is going to help elevate yours and keep you in that alignment. So we'll continue to build upon that. That's awesome. Who's next? Luke, I saw your hand. I think I unmuted you. Uh-oh, we don't hear you though. We'll come back to you, Luke. It could be if you connected through the internet with audio, and then also if you're on another device, you might have to actually allow Zoom to use your microphone. Let us know if you get it figured out. All right. Who wants to go next? Stephanie?
Oh, am I here?
Luke, is that you?
Yep, yeah, that's me.
Okay. We got your sound, but we lost your video.
I think I'm connecting video now.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Okay. Hey everybody. So I very much connect with what you said, Ryan, about how, and I feel like I've been feeling that about how a lot of food, especially processed food, makes you hungrier but doesn't give you what you need. And I feel like because I've watched a lot of Eric Edmead's videos about that type of thing recently, and I found that really, really interesting because I've pretty much been big my entire life since I was like 2, essentially. My mom and dad just didn't really know a lot about nutrition. And I've always had kind of a not great relationship with food, even though I've tried paleo and just so many different diets. Um, and I've been vegan for the past 4 years, and even though that helped a lot, I realized it didn't repair my relationship with food, if that makes sense. Even though I had some benefits from that, at the same time, I still like eat way more than I should, and I feel like I don't have the positive natural relationship with food that I should have. And it's still been difficult to like lose weight, even though I'm eating less bad stuff, but I'm still eating like either too much or whatever it is. And so, yeah, I'm really, really excited to get into this and learn everything. But yeah.
Awesome. So glad that you're here. We can definitely help with your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs around food. And vegan, I will say it. There was one joke that I heard one time, but you can still have beer on a vegan diet. I mean, it's made with grain and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
yeah, Oreos are vegan.
Oreos are vegan, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll work through all that because there's a relationship that you have with those foods, and we can improve that relationship.
No,
Thanks.
definitely.
Stephanie, you were next. Go ahead. Uh-oh, we can't hear you, Stephanie. We're gonna have to ask Luke how he fixed it.
I just reloaded the page.
Okay.
Pretty much. It seemed to work.
I've had people sign off and sign back in, and then that connection would work as well. But reloading the page is a good idea, or making sure when you sign back in to connect via the internet, that audio, that is. We'll come back to you, Stephanie. Who's next? Aruna, you want to go next? Okay. Can you unmute yourself? There we go.
Hi.
There, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, well, I suffer from lots of food allergies, and I put on a lot of weight in the last few years, and I have been losing a few kgs and putting them back on again. And somehow the diet fads never seem to convince me about being good, because I always felt we were missing out on one food group if we went for a particular kind of diet. So I have been reading a lot on various diets and various ways to get fit and healthy, but I always felt that a diet which excludes a certain group of foods cannot be a long-term solution to losing weight. Mm-hmm. So I chanced upon WildFit, and I thought whatever you all had to say was very convincing. So I thought, let me give this a try and see. Awesome. And moreover, I'm not feeling as energetic as I used to in the past few years, but I felt I need to be fitter than I have become over the years, and I need to get my energy levels back.
Awesome. So glad you're here. We'll definitely see some changes from an energy standpoint. So
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Joy, you're next on here. You want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from. What motivated you to sign up?
Hi, I'm from Malaysia. Well, in my country, we pride ourselves in having the best hawker food. So a lot of people over here are way above their BMI. So I'm no exception. Okay. It's way past my bedtime right now. It's almost 12:30. I have to get up at around 6:30 tomorrow for work. So I work in Motorola as a software engineer. I'll try to make it short. most of what I want to say has already been on the Facebook page. You can check my message there, the comment. So I've heard of WildFit from Mind Valley, and I'm very impressed with Eric Admides' podcasts and videos on YouTube. So I thought I'll give this a try, because I've tried keto diets before, and I've signed up for health and wellness programs with MLM companies, which I ended up buying a lot of supplements. And when I'm off it, my weight came back again. So I thought I'll give this a try, because I heard this is not into selling supplements. So I'm open to give it a shot. So my husband helped me in getting me signed up on this program. He's very supportive, and I'm very happy for that. So I'm excited to get started. Can't wait.
Thanks, Joy. Is he going to be joining us as well?
He's in a very fit physique, so I wouldn't say he's interested, but I definitely need it, so I'll be on it.
So doesn't mean that he doesn't have to change the relationship with some of his foods. So it's a great learning environment. I've had athletes and marathon runners and everything else join WildFit as well. So if he wants to join in, let me know, and we can get him added to the group as well. So if anybody has somebody that they're living with in the household, spouse or another family member that wants to do this along with us, it would just be those in part of your household that could join us and do this together. So let me know.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Joy. Katie, looks like you're next.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I am new to this Zoom app, and I joined in a couple minutes late, so sorry about that.
No problem.
I finally figured out how to plug in the link and log in, so.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. This is a really neat concept. I've heard a lot of great things about it. My best friend, Katie, she's been on the program. I think she's almost finished with her challenge, and she hasn't given me a lot of details, but knowing that she's had a lot of success, I trust her. So she signed me up for my birthday, and
awesome.
Yes,
happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I have a 5-year-old and a now 1-year-old, and you know, basically just making sure that I lose all the baby weight in a healthy way. You know, I want to just kind of reset my mind and have a better idea of, you know, making sure my food is going to be nutritious, whereas being a busy mom and working full time, you know, that pizza after work sounds great. You know, just throw in a frozen meal into the oven or some mac and cheese on the stove, get the kids fed is always kind of something I've done out of convenience, but I want it to change. So, you know, just getting better recipes and getting in a better habit. So I have, you know, healthy choices as well as, you know, my kids too, so that they will eat their vegetables with me. So yeah, you know, not anything too major. Had good pregnancies and, you know, overall healthy, and but it's just been a tough time losing that baby weight. No matter what I've done, you know, whether it was keto or, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, or keto, or cutting out carbs or stuff like that, it just didn't seem to get me very far. So I'm just willing to try this and, you know, get everything I can from it.
Awesome. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
You know, a little bit more about my kids. You know, I had done it the challenge a few times, and they're observing throughout the entire time. You know, humans learn from observation, and never want to force anybody into joining WildFit. They have to do it on their own, and that includes our children. So the third time I did a challenge, Russell said he actually wanted to join. He just wanted to join the challenge himself and actually listen to the video process. And he's 11, but he thought it was great. So he's actually living WildFit. Rosemary, my daughter, on the other hand, was a little bit slower to adjust, and now she's also changed her ways of eating and talks about it all the time with her friends and stuff as well. So
That's
it's
awesome.
a good process.
Yeah.
Everyone will start to notice the changes, and that's all you have to do is lead by example.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's the exciting part.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thank
joining.
you. Thanks, Ryan.
Leah, looks like you're next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Leah, and I kind of come from a funny place because when I was little, I can specifically remember the first time somebody told me I was fat, and I had no idea. No, I didn't realize that at the time. And it wasn't until that happened that I then saw myself that way. And I come from an overweight family. My father, my grandmother, on that side, always really big people. So I didn't even realize that. And once that kind of sat in, I had this fear with food. I actually did a Weight Watchers program when I was about 8 years old with my grandmother. And I really wasn't, if you look at pictures now, you would never say that's an overweight child. But to my grandfather, I think he was trying to protect me or make sure I watched what I ate, even at such a young age. And I developed this fear and this kind of just really private relationship with food, because on the flip side, my dad owned a candy store and a pastry store. So I would go in and I would sneak all the candies and pastries and hide them and then eat them later when no one could see, so they wouldn't say anything. So I have this very kind of romantic relationship with food. And I always tried to hide it, right? Almost like, and became like a true addict, I would probably say, right? And now I've gone through this journey, much like I think it was Amy, this really beautiful spiritual journey where I was lucky enough to get diagnosed with Lyme disease a few years back. And I really mean that when I say lucky, because it changed everything in my whole entire life. And I started meditating a lot and just looking at things a lot differently. And now I don't feel like food should have that type of effect when you understand kind of the vibratory nature of everything. I don't know why I would still hold on to this weight in my body if I am so unbelievably happy and joyful and I have this great frequency all the time. Why is food still affecting me? Or is it the food? And now I don't think it really is the food, quite honestly. So I'm interested in this approach because a food-based approach on its own is probably why it hasn't been successful for me in the past. So I was really interested in this being more of a psychological and belief-based program. Like Katie, I'm also friends with Katie, and I have 2 other friends who did this program who look amazing. Beyond just being thin, they're actually glowing, their skin is great, and they just look, they radiate differently. It's a different feeling being around them. So I thought there must be something to this, and then I was excited to get started. And then my husband's here. Eric's going to say hi. Hello.
Hello.
Eric went paleo beginning of this year or so and dropped 50 pounds like nothing. Some of it's come back, and he stopped drinking and all that good stuff. Some of it's come back, but he's just interested in staying kind of in a program that he likes, that's fun, that we can do as a family. We have 6 children, so it'll be really cool. Wow. Some of those are some pretty serious athletes at a young age, so they're interested in keeping their body fit. So we're very excited for the program.
Awesome. So Eric's going to be joining us. That's great.
Yeah.
I think I am.
At least I heard it from him, and it wasn't.
Yeah, you hear from me too, definitely.
Awesome. So, I mean, you're right on. I had the similar experiences with the hiding the food and different things like that as well. But then it is the mindset. So I was doing the same struggle. I was like, so I know I can just change my mindset, and it's all about the vibration of the food and everything that I'm consuming. Why am I not losing weight? So I'm eating healthy and still nothing's changing. And it was WildFit that made that relationship change for me and allowed me to release all the weight. So I think you're in the right place. It'll be great.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yes. Who else we have here? Is it Shilpi? Are you there? Can you hear us, Shilpi? I don't see your camera on, but I unmuted you. See if we could hear anything. You're quiet. We can hear you barely. Try again. It's kind of echoey. Maybe let's try this. Can you say something now? I was wondering if you joined in both on your phone and your computer. Because we were getting some feedback. Say something again. I hear the feedback. It's not much better. Oh, see if she can sign off and sign back in. Move on to Tracy. Tracy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. You have a camera or no?
I'm not very savvy with my iPad, so I don't know how to do that.
So if you're on a tablet and on the Zoom app, if you touch the screen, there should be a menu that pops up at the top that shows the microphone and a camera. You should be able to click the image of a camera to start video.
Okay, allow. Okay.
There you go. We see you.
Hello. I am joining because my daughter's friend's mother joined the program and lost a ton of weight and looks great. She looks fabulous. I'm tired of my chin. I'm tired of my body weight. I'm going to be a grandmother. I want to be a thin, active grandmother. And that's pretty much it. I need to get on track. And I've tried everything, and I'm going to try this, and I think I will succeed.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Not many people know where that is.
I mean, I'm just south of there. So your microphone's a little muffled right now, but I could hear you. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're about 8 hours from Toronto.
So I've been up to Sault Ste. Marie, so I know where that's.
Oh, wow. Okay. Somebody knows. Yay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, thanks
so
for joining
I'm ready.
us.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
ready.
I'm looking forward to it, Ryan.
Great. Jackie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. We can hear you. Do you have video as well? You have a camera?
Yeah, I have video.
Do you know how to turn it on?
I'm turning it on.
There you are. We see you.
Here I am. Hi.
Awesome. Hello.
Hi. I'm in Malaysia. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I'm Australian, but I'm up here working, hence the pillow sitting behind me. And I'm doing it mainly because I want to lose weight, detox, and become a bit more new me.
Awesome. Great. I think you're in the right place. So I'm glad to have you with us. Joy's excited to have somebody from Malaysia here as well. I know it's kind of late there. So thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Late or early, I guess, however you want to look at it. Let's go back to Shilpi and see if we can hear Shilpi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Sorry, I'm actually driving, so I'm not going to put the video on.
Perfect.
I have a conference to get to. I'm from Southern California, Orange County, and my main issue, I guess I've gone to the gym and stuff. I've been told that I'm like I'm not outwardly big, but I'm like a skinny fat, they call, where I have a higher percentage of fat, which I really want to get rid of. And I've been, I'm a physician, so I've been doing a lot of like functional medicine and things. And I came across WildFit through Mind Valley a couple months ago, and I didn't have the time to participate then. And now I was actively searching for it, and I came across this. So I'm happy to join and be part of the community. And also my other issue is a couple of years ago, I had like thyroid nodules, and I had to have a biopsy done, and everything was negative, so everything was okay. But the outcome of if they keep growing is the same as having the cancer. So I feel like it's related to food, and I just feel like I have this awareness where I need to learn more about food and how to eat healthy in an environment where it's not so easy. And so therefore I'm here.
Awesome. I'm excited to have a functional medicine physician on board. I'm taking more of the functional medicine approach as well. And it's all about getting to the root cause, right? And identifying,
Yes.
what is actually going on. It's unfortunate the way the food industry as well as the pharmaceutical industry is just capitalizing on, treating the symptoms and not really the cause, unfortunately.
Agreed.
So glad that you're here. We'll have to hook up. I think that's everyone. So from an introduction standpoint, so glad everyone's here and able to join me. I want to do a quick show of hands. Did everyone get their WildFit headquarters sign-on information? You should have got an email with your log-on information to the WildFit headquarters site. Everyone looks like they're good. Awesome. Now, did everybody watch the welcome video? So they were able to watch Eric's welcome video, and we got a few people. Some people haven't watched the welcome video yet. So check out the welcome video. Eric talks about the true human diet and what we evolved to eat. He uses an analogy about an elephant, and an elephant being in the zoo, they say has a captive diet, and an elephant that's in the wild has a wild diet, when really there's only one diet, and that's the elephant diet. Well, as a human species, we have evolved to eat a certain way, and that's the human diet. And if you look back 200, 250,000 years, majority of that time, not even a majority, almost all of that time, we were a hunter-gatherer. And as a hunter-gatherer, we evolved certain needs that need to be fulfilled from a vitamin, mineral, nutrient standpoint. And we'll take a look at what the true human diet is and how we evolved to eat. So you're going to get videos through the WildFit platform. These first 2 weeks, we have two groups that are kind of joining us here together. Those that are in the WildFit Reset are doing the first 2 weeks of the challenge. And then we also have a group of individuals that have already signed up for the challenge. So the challenge is the 90-day program. And throughout the 90 days, you're going to have enhancement days. Every Friday will be an enhancement day. And tomorrow will be the first one, but then every Friday thereafter, Eric will share with you what those enhancements will be. And the interesting thing is what Eric has created is a buffer zone. So the enhancements don't actually have to take effect until Monday morning. So what that allows you to do is plan and go buy groceries, etc., whatever you need to get ready for Monday. But it also allows a better opportunity for this internal decision making to occur. So you don't have Ryan said or Eric said you have to do something. It's your choice during this buffer zone as to what you are going, if you're going to adjust to the enhancements or if you're going to wait. So you'll have videos from Eric every day this week for the first 2 weeks. And when I say every day, it's Monday through Friday. So there's 5 videos from Eric this week, 5 videos from Eric next week. We'll also meet and do these live video calls. It'll be an opportunity for me to check in with you, see how things are going, answer your questions, add in additional comments, put my spin on things, storytell around my experience with other clients. So there's usually a lot to learn in having this group mastermind type of environment. So if you can't join those, all of them will be recorded. As I say that, I forgot to start the recording during this video. So you missed my introduction, but I turned it on right away when Wendy was starting her introduction. So I'll have to go back and share some of my introduction on video as well. Basically, this program makes all this transition fun, and some of you are excited and ready for change. Some of you are a little hesitant, maybe fearful that you have to give up some things. So it doesn't matter. Both of them are fine, and you're in the right place. I talked about the enhancements in the buffer zone. Obviously, we're going to dig into a few things emotional wise. Later on this week, we'll get into the different hungers. What are the true human hungers and how do we satisfy those? Tomorrow is enhancement day and you'll find out about the enhancements. I'm looking at the clock. I got a few minutes left. How many of you would be interested in hearing what the enhancements are? Everyone wants to. So before I do that though, I want to find out, what are you concerned about giving up? So if anyone wants to chime in and say, I'm, worried about giving up this, I have terrorized, this discomfort, I'm concerned, it might be a mild concern, but what are the foods that you're worried about giving up? Go ahead, Leah. Oh, there we go.
So my question is not so much about the food, but I'm on the run all day, every day. So Tuesday, for example, I have a girlfriend who's planning a tea and she's making all these cute little treats and stuff, and that's what's being served at the event. So how do I go to an event and not eat what's put out and still be social and be with my friends and have a good time? So not a particular food, but more all foods in given situations.
You got it. Because we're going to talk about special occasions this week, because there's always a special occasion. We can create a special occasion out of anything. So it was somebody's birthday, and then there was somebody's anniversary, and then, somebody's first day at work, or somebody just brought donuts, So there's always a special occasion. Yes, we'll definitely continue that. And it's a journey. Any other foods that you're concerned about giving up? Stephanie?
Hopefully everybody can hear me.
Yes, we're good.
Okay, great. My biggest challenge is sugar, and I really feel like I need it to work. I write a lot, and I know that sugar kind of lights up your creative centers and things, and I always feel like that's my biggest downfall in any program I've ever tried is I do really well. I know what I'm supposed to eat, and then I get to a stressful project or I really need to produce, and I turn to the sugar every single time. And I'm not talking a little bit of sugar. I'll eat an entire huge pack of Twizzlers. I'll eat, a box of fruit roll-ups, like serious sugar addiction. And so that's what I'm really scared about, being able to actually follow through on.
You want to share anything else from an introduction standpoint?
Well, I'm from Georgia, Ohio originally, actually, but I live in Georgia now. And again, I've tried everything you can think of. I know what I'm supposed to eat. I teach yoga for part of my living, in addition to doing the writing stuff. And I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm pretty healthy otherwise, but sugar is my downfall every single time. And I really feel like I have a huge addiction to it. So the whole mindset thing about WildFit appeals to me.
Perfect. Sugar's a good one. Aruna? Oh,
I don't have.
go ahead.
Yeah.
You're on now.
Hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not really concerned about any food being eliminated, or I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so I'm saved that way. But my concern is there are certain foods which will probably not be available locally here in India. So how do I substitute those?
Sure. I've had clients from India. There'll be things that we can work. Everybody's got a unique situation, right? Well, that's the nice thing about it. We all are a human species, and we all evolved to eat the same way. So there's a ways that you can adapt WildFit to work for you. So not to worry. You'll find things to eat and have an.
That should be great.
V?
I've given up coffee. I don't eat dairy. I can't eat anything that's made with gluten, so bread, cake, etc. Although there are alternatives you can buy, I look upon them as just substitutes for bad food anyway. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drunk alcohol since 1988. I don't smoke. What else do people give up? Chocolate, I'm not fussed about. So I've given up, and I'm a vegetarian at heart. So it's not so much giving up. What I find is that, I can't eat that, I don't want to eat that. I actually find it very difficult to think, I know what I want. I can't ever really think, I really fancy something, because to me food is partly enemy, and now it's partly a massive challenge. So and because I work for myself from home, I'll work rather than go and eat. So so it's not the giving up, it's the kind of working out how to incorporate actually enjoying food, making an effort to prepare it, and fitting that into my day. Plus, like someone else said about celebrations and family, what have you.
So that ties right into where I'm heading. So thank you, V. So when I talk about what we're going to give up tomorrow, we're not going to give up anything. You're like, what? What type of reaction is that? Some people are like excited. They were like, oh, I don't have to do that now. Or some people are disappointed. I'm ready to get this show on the road. What happened? So this program is different than everything else. You're not going to change a thing. And you need to continue to eat exactly the way you've been eating. Now, we are going to add some things in. The first thing is breathing. You have to do breathing exercises at least twice a day, and you're going to do the 5-5-5, where you breathe in for a count of 5, you hold for a count of 5, and then you release for a count of 5. And you're going to do that 5 times, and you're going to do that whole sequence at least twice a day. Why breathing? So if you think about survival, the first thing that we need in order to survive is oxygen. We can only go 3 minutes without air. So there's a couple different reasons for this. You have, it's a calming effect. When you saw a lion and you went into fight or flight mode, you don't breathe real deep breaths. It's short, shallow, fast, and you want to run. So deep breathing has a calming effect. So we want to cut down on our stress and anxiety and make sure that we have time to do some deep breathing. And then in order to break down fat, we have to have oxygen. To burn anything, to light that fire, you need oxygen to burn it. So we want to make sure that our body is well oxygenated and we're getting plenty of oxygen into our system. The next thing that your body cannot go without is water. So we're going to add in water and hydration. You have to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. And then everyone's like, well, what is a glass? If you're short or small, you have small glasses. If you're tall, you have tall glasses. But just more hydration, more water in. An average glass is 8 ounces. For some of you, that's 240 milliliters. You want to get hydrated. And you don't want to drink distilled water or reverse osmosis. You want natural spring water that has minerals in it. So some type of natural spring water that's got minerals still included in it. So stay hydrated. Now the third thing, and then the most important thing, is you're going to add observation. And when we say you add observation, it's increasing your consciousness, your awareness around the foods that you are eating. You're going to eat everything that you normally would, but you're going to slow things down according to this food timeline. And you're going to look at the decision as to why you chose to eat it. Sometimes you feel better just in the decision of having it. And notice that emotional connection. You might say, I'm going to have a pizza, and you haven't even eaten the first bite yet, and you're just excited and giddy because you decided to have a pizza. So you want to slow things down into the decision. Then you're also, excuse me, you're going to slow things down with the first bite. After you had the first bite, did it meet your emotional needs that you thought it would? And then the second bite and the third bite. And we're going to take away this mindless eating, because that mindless eating was there for a reason. If we're a hunter-gatherer and we're gathering food, we had to stay alert for predators all the time. So we developed this mode of mindless eating so that we were constantly on the lookout for a predator. We want to bring awareness back to our food, and we want to see how our body feels with each bite that we take. Then you're also going to see how you feel 30 minutes after, and maybe even an hour later, or even that evening or the next morning, how your body feels from the food that you ate. So that observation, that food timeline, slowing things down, and really paying attention to this internal dialogue that's going on. So what is this internal dialogue? I'm going to introduce you to the food angel and the food devil. It's like that, the positive brain, the negative brain, the things that are going on back and forth just in the decision of having the food. What's that conversation going on back and forth? And throughout this process, we're going to learn the sales pitch of the food devil, and we're going to increase the knowledge or the ammunition of the food angel. So later on, it may not be a conversation going on back and forth anymore, and the angel can actually squash it. Maybe the devil will even side with the angel. So there's your enhancements. We're going to have another class tomorrow evening. We'll do more introductions for those that haven't joined us, but we'll dig into these enhancements even more in more detail. All right. Thanks everyone for joining me. I'll catch you again tomorrow with a different time, and we'll see those that were not able to join. Bye for now.